We had a really good practice yesterday. Best birthday present I got.
I was going to say,
It was
that
a great practice.
Was that the cause of the birthday, or was the practice just that good?
The practice was really good. I think our team is excited about the game tomorrow night. So, and they showed it with a really good effort and focused effort yesterday in practice. Best present a guy can get.
What's the Stanford team like with some experienced players, but also some really talented young players?
Yeah, well, they have 9 McDonald's All-Americans on the roster and a Hall of Fame coach. So going in, they've got a lot of talent and a great bench. So, but yes, a lot of them, they're relying on some freshmen, but they're really good freshmen that are used to playing at a high level. Really good veterans that are going to show them the way. I think, and I'm hoping that this is a great home court advantage tomorrow, that we really get after them. They've only had 2 true road games, one at Texas and they lost, and then the game yesterday or Sunday at Cal. So, I hope this is an environment that can be intimidating for those young players. But the bottom line is the crowd won't win the game. The 5 Ducks that are on the floor are going to win or lose the game with how we play. So we've got to make sure that we're focused and ready to go, and regardless of who they put out there.
Steph has a chance this weekend to become the program's all-time leading scorer. Some players are motivated by, I want to leave a legacy, I want to leave my mark. Do you get a sense at all she's about that? I mean, she's obviously very driven, but is that part of what's driving her at all?
I don't think it really drives her. I think she knows and is aware of all these different, landmarks or whatever you call it, milestones that she reaches. I don't think that's really who she is. And oh my goodness, wow, another record that she's going to break. I mean, it's like a game by game, ordeal with her. I don't know what motivates that young woman. She just, I think, wakes up every morning motivated to be her best and to do her best, and whatever it is she's going to do that day. That's just who she is and how she's driven. And thank God she's like that, because we need it.
But given that she is already the assist leader at this program, and you've said that's kind of her mentality, is to get others involved first, what does that say that she's going to break this record as well?
Just goes to show you what a great talent that she is. I mean, I hope people, and I remind people every time I go out and do speaking engagements or when I'm talking to you guys, that I hope everybody appreciates what they're watching, because they're never going to see another player like her, ever. She's doing things that perhaps no college basketball player will ever do again. And we have 7 more home games that we're guaranteed, so people should come out and take advantage of seeing Sabrina and seeing Ruthie for the last times on this court. So yeah, she's an icon. I'd put her on the Mount Rushmore of Oregon athletes, but she still has something to prove and something to play for, and I think we all know what that is.
Is the scoring record perhaps a testament most to her work? Because it seems like, with the assists, her court vision is just second to none, and the rebounds is all just effort, just how hard she plays. But she's had to work to make herself a good scorer, right? I mean, it's not like she gets to the hoop with ease like Satu does. I mean, she's had to make herself a good shooter.
Yeah, she has to do it in a variety of different ways. She just doesn't rely on, like you said, the pure athleticism. That's not who she is. But she can score in so many different ways. She gets to the line. She can shoot the 3. She's, good in the lane. She can really score at every different level. But she is not by nature a scorer. She is truly a pass-first player. So good on her. And just think of the points she has accounted for. I know in football they keep the all-purpose yards and things like that. I mean, just think if you had the number of points that she's created through assists and the number she scored. I mean, you're talking she could end up being close to, 5,000. Oh my goodness, that's big-time numbers.
You talk about people appreciating her, getting these final chances to potentially see her play. Do you ever take a moment to just think about what you've been able to be a part of with her?
No question about it. Yeah, no question about it. I give thanks every day for the opportunity to coach her and the rest of the team. I mean, she's one of 13 really talented players and great teammates. So I really am blessed to be here. But she's the one that sets the tone. She's the one that's really, kind of made this a big deal. I mean, you guys, we're gonna have a sold-out arena tomorrow. 2 games later, we're gonna have another sold-out arena. It's incredible what has happened, and she's a big part of it.
You mentioned last week that rotations were kind of a double-edged sword with the depth that you had, noticing that your starters were playing 22, 23 minutes a game. I mean, how much Does that come up in a two-week trip like this, where you've got number 3 and then number 8, I believe, twice like that?
Yeah, our depth will be tested, but at the same time, it's our starting core group is the group that's really going to have to win these games. I mean, that's just the honest truth. We had really good production from both Jazz and Taylor off the bench at Arizona. I thought they helped us win that game, with their really good defense and timely threes. But ultimately, the big three had great games at Arizona, and that's what we're going to need to rely on when the chips are down in games like this. I mean, this is what they came here for: national television audience, a top 5 opponent, and a sold-out crowd. So this is going to be a pretty special moment tomorrow.
Was Arizona State maybe a little bit more physical than teams that you've seen?
Oh, a little bit more physical? Yeah. Ask Scott Ruick as well. I saw him comment on that last night. Yeah, very much so. And that's actually what we've struggled with. Look at our 2 losses this year. Louisville played us the same way. And so, we've got to learn to combat that, play better against it, not be just a finesse team. And that's why we play these games and hopefully learn from them.
How big would it be to get Erin going a little bit? It seems like she's struggling to find that shot.
She is, and we need to get her going. There's no question about it. We're a better team when she can stretch the defense, and it's on me. I've got to find ways to get her better looks. It's on her teammates. They've got to find her, and it's on her. She's got to have the confidence to be able to step up and not just make them, but shoot them. Have the confidence that, hey, I know I haven't scored a ton, but I'm important and I can make that. And then it's on her also for trying to get open a little bit better. So, we're at our best when she is a scoring factor and a scoring presence.
Do you get the sense that she's lacking maybe some confidence right now? Because the ball hasn't been going in quite as much as in the past.
Yeah, perhaps, but I mean, she's not getting a lot of looks, so it's not like she's missing a bunch. Right. She's just not getting a ton of looks, and I think that would shake anybody's confidence a little bit. But she's out here working just as hard each and every day. She stays after, gets shots. She gets here early, gets shots. So I think it's just an opportunity thing, and it's cyclical. I mean, she'll find that rhythm, but even with her on the floor, again, we've talked about this before. It opens up the lane for Ruthie to do more work, for our other playmakers to make plays, just by having her there.
Do you think that alters the spacing at all is altered by having Mignon on the floor, and maybe not quite the same player that Maite was, and that might change some things up for who's out parked on the line and able to shoot threes?
No question about it. No, I think you've hit it. Teams are playing Mignon in different ways than they played our guards in the past, and we just have to, we've tried to adjust to it, and she hit a big bucket late in the last game. That was important. Yeah, we're finding different ways. We're putting her in more ball screens, and I think we just got to get more movement. If we just continue to get movement, you guys, we haven't played that well. I really don't think we're clicking like we can offensively. I think defensively we're a little better. It let us down at Arizona State in the fourth quarter, but I just see this as a work in progress, and thank goodness we haven't haven't played the best basketball we can. That's still coming.
By the same token, though, with this week and next week, a lot of big picture stuff can be determined by these results. Do you feel pressure to really perform these next 2 weeks, or do you still want to keep focused on gradual long-term progression?
No, I mean, we need to win the game tomorrow. I think that's really important. And like you said, we're playing for something bigger. We're playing for seeding, and we're playing for a Pac-12 championship. And, all those kind of things play into this. But ultimately, we want to win the last 6 games of the season. I think that's our ultimate goal. But, a win against Stanford, will certainly help, I think, in that regard. We've got to play better. And right now, I don't know if we're playing nearly our best basketball, so we may have to grind out some wins in this in the coming weeks. But make no mistake, we've got our work cut out for us. This is a heck of a stretch, maybe the toughest stretch of any team that I know of in the last many, many years, anywhere, playing these kind of opponents in the next 2.5 weeks.
Obviously, a new season, new players, but you think you guys beating them by 40 on their home court last year is going to play any part in this game?
Absolutely none. No, I think they got that taste out of their mouth by beating us in the Pac-12 tournament last year. I think this is a whole new deal. They've got a lot of new players. I mean, if you look at their top 8 players, 6 of them have never played here. Okay, the 2 Hulls and the 4 freshmen. So this is going to be a heck of an environment for a group that really, doesn't always play in front of crowds like this. So I hope that's an advantage for the Ducks.
Just wondering if you had seen the WNBA CBA announcement, and what that does for you got some players here obviously that can be in the money next year, but you got some that are also in the WNBA now. What does it say about the league that it's continuing to grow and that two sides were able to come to a pretty player-friendly agreement there?
No, I think the WNBA CBA agreement was a big step in the right direction. I think it's so important that they can, those players can make a living and just stay here. I think it makes the product better. In the off season, they can do things to promote the product. So it's a good start. I think they've got still a ways to go. I don't even think it's completely done. I don't think they've finished all the details, but a lot of the bullet points that they have put out and the agreements they've made, I think are tremendous. And yeah, it will impact. Maybe not the rookie salary scale as much, which will directly impact a few of our players next year. But I think it's certainly better for their futures. Yeah. And good on the WNBA. I think that's great. Let's keep it going.